The Shadowdancer Basic 1095 Katana, currently on Amazon and through Shadowdancer directly, for about $218. This is a review sample sent to me by Shadowdancer, so if you think that makes me biased or sways my opinion on the katana, now you know. Shadowdancer does a really good job on their tsuka. Again, the transitions here are very good. Crane Tsukashi Tsuba and Black Ishime Saya. I'm not sure if the Korigata and Gajiri are plastic or just painted, but there is a visual distinction. Pretty decent sword bag, better than the normal and plain cotton ones you usually get. The first omote fold is pretty loose. The rest of them have some movement, but not quite as much. And the fuchi has a slight bit of movement. Pretty good habaki fit. Small gap on the left of the mune, but the sides are near flush. Here you can kind of see some of the hamon activity down the blade. And there's still some dust from the scion. Then the crane Tsukashi Tsuba and the Uchi and Kashira have a kind of stipple texture to them. You can see a lot more detail on the hamon in person. It's worth noting that this one had pretty quiet tachikaze despite still having a bohei. However, it did come a lot sharper, having no problem popping the thin pulled noodles. And doing a few cuts from EI here. Here I actually scalped part of the wooden board I was using to hold up the bottles. Everything was still straight though, and sharp. Here's that sliver that came off. For whatever reason, I kept hitting the lids and caps of these bottles like I was just honed towards them. No edge damage though. Just a bit of residue from the cap. Another cap. And another one. The edge held up great. There was just some residue from plastic, but no edge rolling or deformation.
Residue from the plastic, but no edge damage.
It did take a very slight bend on that chop. I was able to straighten it back out, no issue.
It did pick up a small set of that chop.
You can see how deep it chopped into the board.
Okay, so some quick thoughts after I just got finished cutting with the Shadowdancer. As you saw, it took a very minor bend on that one chop into the wood board. I was able to straighten it out, just barely pressing on the other side. But it's differential hardened. That ease of bending is kind of to be expected. Again, even more so than the $128 Katana. Hey, snips. The handle shaping is a lot better. There's even grooves on the end knots so they don't stick out as much. The transitions are all clean. Again, on the first knot or fold on the Omote side, it's pretty loose considered the other one. In a way, it's not bad because there is a Mikugi there. So it helps you get out of the way to take the handle off. I'd rather it be tight and the Mikugi to be down slightly more. There is only one Mikugi. It's more traditional that way. It's very tight. The Fuchi is slightly loose. There's some wiggle in it, but that would be an easy fix. Just get a little piece of shim, stick it in there. Shouldn't necessarily have to do that on a brand new sword, but it is. The coating that's on the Suba I really like. The Suba's pretty thin, but it's not just a shiny black coating. For the price though, again, everything's great. Although this one is more prone to damage than the thorough hardened one that's cheaper, there's a lot of activity in the Hamon that I really like. I'll have to polish it, and I'll probably end up doing like a vinegar etch to bring out the Hamon more. But you can see in some of those peaks especially, there's actually a lot of activity in there. And I'm going to try to bring that out, but I wanted to review it as you would get it. The Saya is a little on the thin side, but it feels really nice. The only issue I've had with this particular one, and I think Matthew Jensen also had this issue, it likes to bind unless you have it in just right. But considering the price at $218 for $10.95 clay tempered sword, or $10.95 or T10, I'm not sure what the difference is. We list both on Amazon. I still think it's a very good deal. Ito's a little bit tighter than it was on the Tyrannosaurus model, but like I said, in that first Mote fold, it's pretty loose. So I'm guessing there's some sort of adhesive on the sides that keep it nice and tight for the most part. It didn't wiggle around my hand or anything. It felt good. I think it's another sword that'd be very good for EI. Just the only downside is, even though it has the bohi, the Tachikaze is very quiet, especially compared to the other one. The Samigawa is in a channel, so there's no ridge lines or anything. Again, they're not the most even diamonds or anything by any means, but think about the price point. The bunchiness with transition, Kasha's on there very tight. Like I said, I made just put a little shim in the Fuchi to stop that little bit of movement. So it was very tight. Mostly what I think what you're buying when you're buying these budget Shadowdancer models is the handling experience. The Suka just feels a lot better than most mass-produced Katana handle that I've at least handled. At some point, maybe after this video, what the blade looks like after I've done the vinegar etch. and polish those scuffs out. But then again, another thing, I can't aim with the crap on my Zukuri, as you saw. I kept hitting bottle caps. Wasn't trying to, but unintentional for ability test. And it left some residue from the plastic, but no rolling, no chipping. The edge held up great. And like I said, only that very, very slight warp on the blade when I hit that larger board that had broken off. So I just took apart the handle. It's not as clean as the other model, but there is still some firework. Like I said, just the one Mikugi. On the Hanma and Machi are basically on line with each other. And on Habaki, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'll focus or not. Yeah, there is a shelf on the Hamachi side for it to sit on.
These here are the blade after a quick humble etch. And for the record, there are other styles. I really prefer number 3.
Funny thing about working with knives and swords a lot, whenever you get a cut, people always assume it was an edged weapon. Nope, walked past the fence, scratched myself.